Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of GirlExec. I'm Kristy, and I'm joined by my great friend Isha. Today's episode is GirlExec Q&A, Career Transitions. Over the past few months, we've solicited and received questions from viewers about various topics. Today, we want to share and provide answers to a few of the more common questions, so let's dive right in. Isha, the first question is, how do you know when it's time to switch jobs?
Chris, that's definitely a question that we've all asked ourselves at some point in time. And I think there's a couple of questions you can ask yourself to help make the call. The first is, do you still have passion for what you do? Does it still bring you joy? Now, joy is relative when it comes to work because we want to enjoy our jobs. It's not that we're in the clouds, but you should still feel that interest, that satisfaction, that desire to make a difference when you go into the office or wherever you are every day. When you no longer feel that energy, it could be time for you to switch.
Mm-hmm.
Another question would be, do you still feel challenged? Do you still feel like you're learning and growing? Work and life is all about growth, stretching yourself to gain new skills, to find new and better ways to do things, to deepen how you work with and influence people. If you don't look around and see any opportunities for you to really advance the way you have been, it could be time for you to switch.
Mm-hmm.
Another question is, do you still see room for advancement? Or have you reached the ceiling, whether somebody's told you you're at the ceiling or not? It's best to move on if you truly look around and you can't see, even cross-functionally, those opportunities. Because to stay stagnant in the place you are, whether it's there at your current place or for someone new looking at your profile and your resume, it can really hurt your opportunities. And lastly, I would say, remember that switching doesn't always mean leaving your organization. We spend a lot of time to build up name recognition, reputation, equity where we are. So it could mean having the courage to apply for that promotion that you see posted, or making the effort to network with people from other departments to see opportunities. No matter how you go about it, whether you stay or whether you leave, do it with grace. That's going to be the key. So, Chris, the next question is, what's better, to have a long career in one company or to have a widespread career across multiple companies?
When it comes to careers, there really is no right answer to this question. A lot depends on the opportunities available to you, your fit within the culture, the level of sponsorship you have. Still, there are benefits to each of these approaches. To name a few top ones, take, for example, with a widespread career across multiple companies. This is by far the most common or more common path nowadays. Statistics show that people change jobs every 4 years on average. Moving to a new place can help keep your skills fresh. You'll have to adapt to a new manager, new challenges, new ways of working. And all of this keeps our juices flowing and challenges us to boost growth over probably what is the first I'll say 2 to 3 years. It also shows that you're flexible and open to change and new challenges, which helps your resume versus hurts it. And practically, it shows that people's salaries can increase far more quickly when they shift because they are more quickly adjusting to current salary demands of the market versus staying within the confines of the organizational sort of comp structure. Just be sure to have tangible accomplishments in each role as you're making these moves that you can detail to provide that change led to new levels and new results. And I would say a third option, which is the option I've taken most recently, is choosing to launch into entrepreneurship. I left my corporate role some time back to start my own boutique consulting firm. And I had this idea in my mind 10 years ago. But 10 years ago, when I talked to an advisor of mine, he said, "This is a great idea, but you really need some more time." My little heart was hurt. And I was like, "Oh, I need some more time." But he was right. So I took time, and over 10 years, I observed, why did companies hire people in the area of consulting I wanted to do? What did they need? How did they develop relationships? So as I drew closer to making that decision, probably a year before I made the change, I did what most entrepreneurs do. I looked at a business plan. I started cultivating the relationships a year ahead of time before I left corporate. And now I'm happy. I'm leading a boutique consulting firm, doing OD and executive coaching, what I was doing inside the organization. I love it, and it's challenging, but it's yet another career option.
Chris, this isn't a question for today, but career planning. You did the planning. And I think that we should cover that soon in a future episode. But with all that excitement and everybody always wants to be an entrepreneur, I just want to say there's still value in a long career in one company. As long as the same criteria are met, you continue to feel challenged and to learn new things. You see those opportunities to shift to new roles or opportunities or levels of leadership every 3 to 4 years. And you make sure you stay relevant with the latest developments and technologies in your business. You see those opportunities because honestly, other companies could think, because you've been in one company for a long time, that perhaps you have a less evolved skill set than those people who have moved around to different environments. In any case, I would say you're always being evaluated for your contribution, your value, your growth. So whether you stay where you are or whether you're looking to leave, if you want to grow, keep gaining skills and rising to new levels of performance all the time. And weigh the pros and cons of these two approaches, your goals, your priorities, your preferred level of change, because changing jobs frequently brings on these waves of change. Do you prefer that? And do what's best for you. I've worked at the same company for 16 years and had a very tenured career, but I've worked in the local business. I've worked in different categories. I've led global businesses. I've lived now in different countries. So it definitely is possible to have a very fulfilling career in any way that you go. So Chris, this is the last question, but it goes back to the basics. And it's one that we've all asked ourselves at one point in time. How do I even begin to figure out what type of work I want to do or what career I should pursue? How can people start?
Definitely, it's a common question. There's a lot of resources available to help people figure out themselves, but this is definitely one that requires that you put some time in to reflect, to research, and to speak to others. We addressed this in our GirlExec episode, Personal Development Plan, but a few tips I would share here is start by thinking what makes you great. You know what career, or you may not know what career or what next role that you really want to pursue, but really getting a sense about what makes you good and what you're naturally good at. If you make that list, ask your family and friends and coworkers for their views, and start to build a clear picture of your natural strengths. These can help lead you to a given career path, a specific job, or projects that you really go after. Talk to people. If you're even slightly interested in a job area within your organization or outside, find a few people who do that work and ask for 30 minutes to ask them about their career. Trust me, people are happy to talk about themselves. And most people will say yes. And they could share their path, what it takes to succeed there, and what they did to prepare. And lastly, there are many things, whether if it's a career quiz, like the one that's on careerquiz.org, or personality instruments where you answer a boatload of questions. And these questions really match your answers with people who work across various careers and tell you what might be a good match for you. If you've never done one, it's a useful thing to do at any point in your career.
And Chris, I would just close this one with, be honest with yourself. Consider also the type of environment that will make you happy. Your joy matters. So do you prefer a fast-paced environment where you're doing something new every day? Or do you want to work in a place where you can master and go deep in one thing? Do you want to have to interface with the crowd, with the public, with new people every day? Or do you gain satisfaction from building strong relationships with a small core group of people? Your style, your personality, they all matter and play a role in your level of success. So we thank you for the questions that you submitted. We will continue to have these Q&A sessions. They inspire us and they challenge us personally. And we hope that they give you all more information to consider and act upon as you consider the path to your professional growth. Please share this with young professionals who are entering the early phases of their careers. And as always, be sure to subscribe to GirlExec for conversations to enrich your career and life. Thank you.